Hi loves, welcome to my channel. In today's video I will be talking about all the mistakes that I have made in relation to my hair care and the setbacks that I have had. I have had quite a few, unfortunately, and it is exactly 6 years since I last relaxed my hair. I honestly can't believe how quickly time flies. So I have had some experience in relation to dealing with or caring for natural hair. So I'm going to share my mistakes and hopefully you can avoid making these mistakes as well. The first mistake I made was applying an oil onto my hair and thinking I have moisturized my hair. If you don't know by now, an oil is only going to seal in the moisture, so you have to make sure you apply a moisturizer or a conditioner onto your hair strands before you apply an oil. So what I would do in the past was I would basically apply extra virgin olive oil onto my hair and my hair would feel so dry and crusty, and I'll be here thinking, what am I doing wrong? Why is my hair feeling so dry? Why isn't it feeling moisturized or replenished? That was mainly because I was not moisturizing my hair. I was just sealing in the moisture, which was non-existent in my hair. So when you are moisturizing your hair, always make sure you spritz your hair with water first, and then you can apply your leave-in conditioner. For me, I use the Tresemme conditioner and then I apply my extra virgin olive oil onto my hair strands. I also use grease sometimes, especially on my ends, because I've realized that with grease, it helps for me to keep the moisture locked into my hair strands for much longer. So don't worry about applying grease on your hair. I've been using it for the past 2 years just fine, so you can use that as well. The second hair mistake that I made was how I detangled my hair. I would detangle my hair excessively. I would detangle it every day, and I was always frustrated with the fact that my hair would wrangle or feel like it wasn't detangled enough. But at that point, I did not understand natural hair properly because I had relaxed hair for majority of my life. I started relaxing my hair I think when I was 7 years old, so I didn't have experience with dealing or catering for my natural hair. So every time I felt like my hair strands were together or clamped together, I would think, okay, I have to detangle my hair. So I was detangling my hair every day, and that was causing a lot of breakage for my hair. You do not have to detangle your hair every day. You don't have to detangle your hair to the point where you can literally run your fingers through your hair. That is not necessary. You're just going to break off your hair if you're combing your hair every day. And I would say the best detangling tool are your God-given fingers. That's the best way to detangle your hair. Even if you do use a detangling tool, make sure you separate your hair strands with your fingers first before you go in with a detangling tool. I saw the most growth and hair retention in 2020 and 2019 because I wasn't using any detangling tools. I was just relying on finger detangling. So my hair grew a lot. I've become quite lazy and I don't have time to sit down and detangle my hair just using my fingers. So first, when I detangle my hair, I make sure I separate the hair strands with my fingers, and then I go in with my tangle teaser, which I find more gentle or easier to detangle my hair with. The third mistake that I made was washing my hair too often. At some point in my natural hair journey, I was washing my hair every week, and I realized that I was manipulating my hair too much. I feel like for my hair is more vulnerable or fragile when it's completely wet or completely dry. So I don't wash my hair every week. I wash my hair usually once a month or once in 2 months. Once in 2 months when I've got my hair in a protective style, but when I have my hair out like this, it's usually once a month. So do what your hair needs. I know you might have a few hair YouTubers that you might watch who washes their hair more often, but that doesn't mean you have to do the same thing. do what works for your hair. The fourth mistake I made was wearing my hair in shrunken hairstyles very often. I know I love a good afro. It looks majestic, it looks lovely, it looks so beautiful, but for me, with my hair texture, whenever I wear my hair in completely shrunken hairstyles, my hair breaks a lot because my hair likes to tangle and wrangle around each other's hair strands because my hair loves each other so much, and that will make my hair more susceptible to single strand knots, and it makes it very easy for my hair to break off when I am combing or detangling my hair. Therefore, I avoid shrunken hairstyles. I like to stretch my hair by blow drying my hair, doing African threading, braids, or twists. Whenever you blow dry your hair, make sure you use a heat protectant so that your hair is protected. The next mistake I made is not knowing the protein or moisture balance that my hair requires. So our hair needs protein because protein helps to strengthen the hair. If your hair is lacking protein, your hair might be more susceptible to breakage or hair shedding because the hair strands are not too strong. And if you use too much protein, your hair strands will become way too hard and also break off. So you need to have a good balance. I use my protein treatment, which is the Hair Mayonnaise Originals, every 3 months, and I add that to my deep conditioner, and I make sure I sit underneath the hooded dryer for at least 20 minutes after I have applied that. I made this huge mistake in the initial stages of my natural hair journey by doing a DIY egg mask treatment, and I left it in for 2 hours. My hair was so dry and crunchy and hard. It took me forever for me to detangle my hair that day. I was literally so upset. So don't make that mistake that I made. I didn't know that protein could make your hair so crunchy and hard. I just assumed that, oh, it's good for your hair, so I could leave it in for as long as I want to, or even overnight, because when I started my natural hair journey, I would even leave in my deep conditioner in for a whole night. But I've realized that that is not necessary at all. I was just doing the most because I was praying that my hair would grow. So I beg, don't stress yourself out and don't stress your hair out. If the container tells you to leave it in for 15 minutes, don't do the most. Just leave it in for 15 minutes. As long as you sit underneath a hooded dryer, your hair will be okay. Your hair will thank you. Also, in relation to moisturizing your hair, make sure that each time you wash your hair, you deep condition your hair. Bonus tip is to add oil and honey to your deep conditioner. That will give your hair more slip and moisture as well. And make sure that after you've washed your hair and rinsed out the deep conditioner, you apply some moisturizer or conditioner onto your hair and seal in that moisture to keep your hair looking refreshed and moisturized as well. The next mistake I made was trusting hairdressers or hairstylists. Unfortunately, you can't trust anyone with your hair apart from yourself, because even the hairstylists that specify on their website that they cater to natural hair sometimes don't even know what they're doing. I have been to a hair braider who has mentioned that she has dealt with natural hair and specializes in natural hair. It says so on her website, and it also says so on top of the salon. But she wouldn't braid your hair unless she has blow dried your hair. And it is funny to me that you claim to be a natural hair specialist or hairstylist, but you do not know how to take care of natural hair in its natural state, and you believe that you have to tame the hair before you can style it, but you could still braid natural hair in its natural state and it should still look fine. So do not trust these hairstylists, and they're usually not gentle when it comes to detangling your hair. The best way to go to a hair braider is to make sure you have detangled your hair yourself, and if you want to stretch out your hair, then do so before you go there. but they don't have the patience. They are just working in a time scale where they feel like they have to do everything so quickly, and then they can move on to the next client so that they can make more money. Your hair is not that important to them. So the best person to cater for or care for your hair is yourself. They might know how to style the hair, but they wouldn't know how to care for it or treat your hair properly. Even if they're washing your hair, deep conditioning your hair, and braiding your hair, they might not have that knowledge when it comes to taking care of natural hair, unfortunately. The next tip is not every hairstyle is going to be beneficial for retaining length. If the hairstyle is too tight and you're looking surprised 24/7, best believe that hairstyle is not going to retain any length. You're going to receive a lot of breakage at the end. And ask yourself, just because I look good now and I'm going to look horribly or gonna be sad because my hair is breaking off excessively when I am removing the hair braids, is it worth it? No, it's not worth it, because you deserve to look good while the style is on your head and even after removing that hairstyle. And also hairstyles that requires tiny braids or tiny twists, I find those hairstyles causes a lot of breakage for me, so I avoid those hairstyles like the plague. I love braids, but I can't do those tiny braids, and I feel like that's just way too much manipulation on my hair considering how thick my hair is. So I wouldn't do those type of braids. And also avoid those hairstyles where you have to put in really tiny elastic bands. I feel like that causes a lot of breakage, because there's going to be a lot of hair tagging and pulling. The next tip kind of ties to what I've just said. Be careful of hair accessories or hair clothes, especially sequin dresses or tops or fuzzy sweaters. I feel like that causes a lot of friction with the hair, and that can also tag and pull on your hair, and that can cause breakage. I would love to wear sequins and sequin tops and dresses, and I would always find pieces of my hair strands in the dresses or the tops. So if you're going to be wearing those type of outfits, make sure that your hair is not down like this. Put it in a low bun or a ponytail so that your hair doesn't come into contact with your clothes. The last tip is to listen to your hair. I've said this so many times. What works for Emily is not gonna work for my hair, and what works for my hair might not work for Emily's hair, and that's completely fine. You don't have to continue to use the DIY hair conditioner that is causing your hair to feel excessively dry and hard if it doesn't work for your hair. I used to use clothes a lot on my hair, but I've realized that it makes my hair very dry, and dry hair leads to breakage, so I have stopped using cloves. But if I do use cloves, I use my hibiscus with it, and I don't even use it as much as I used to use it in the past anyways. We might have the same type of hair, we might have 4C hair, but the density or the porosity might be different, so listen to your hair. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I really appreciate it. Please let me know what mistakes you have made in your natural hair journey, if you have made any mistakes, and if you want to comment and like and subscribe, that will help my channel out. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, bye.